This month I'll be doing what no foreigner has ever done before. I'll be documenting my life in the Japanese mountains, living and training with some of Japan's fastest runners. I've gained exclusive access into an elite team, so over this summer I'll be bringing you some never seen before footage from inside this high altitude camp. This is the diary of a marathon monk. But first I've actually got to get back to Japan because we ended last week's video down under. I'd made the most of the icy Melbourne weather to knock out a 29:36 10k, and after that headed on to Brisbane to tick off another city on this Aussie side quest. Any excuse to delay my return to the 24/7 outdoor sauna that is Tokyo in summertime. Now, unlike Sydney and Melbourne, we were devastated to find out there was no food tour in Brizzy. I mean, what else are you meant to do on holiday other than clean up the local scran? So we had to settle for a Segway tour instead to scout out the best scran spots in town.
Here he is, Segway to Japan. Got him, Segway to Japan, can we see you? Ah, the full crucifix, lovely to see.
So with segwaying mastered and Brisbane sightseeing spots checked off, the final stop was the Suncorp Stadium to watch the mighty British and Irish Lions dominate the Wallabies and show the Aussies who runs this town. Come on, this is it, wrapping up the Rant to Oz tour. Just heading back now at the Brisbane airport, going back to Tokyo. Can't say I'm exactly looking forward to the summer. I'm gonna be hit with like 35 degrees. I've got way too used to this cool Australia weather. So nice running out here. But it's been a successful Aussie trip and I'll definitely have to come back next year. Maybe make this a regular, run Gold Coast, hit up Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane after. Maybe have to go Perth as well. I've had a lot of subscribers saying I've got to get over there. So for a nice little winter Aussie season, Escape Japan, this really is the place to be. But for now, the flaming pits of hell, aka Tokyo, await me, and it was back to base camp, where I managed a grand total of 1 day before taking evasive action. Right, I've lasted 12 hours in Tokyo. This is the state of me after a little steady run, ended up being a flat out marathon pace effort. Absolute joke. So I think that's enough. I'm heading to altitude. I'm all booked and head off the day after tomorrow. Get me out of here. Tokyo is not for me. So I'll be heading on my next pavement pounding pilgrimage, which is 1 month in the mountains of Nagano. It's any marathon monk's dream. On my way over, I scranned one of my favourite Japanese delicacies, cow tongue. I've never had it in jerky form, but it delivered. I can't understand why we don't eat this abroad. But soon enough, I touched down in the wilderness, and now commences the summer camp series. So I'm here on the first leg of the altitude tour. We've headed to Nagano Prefecture. I'm going to be bopping between a few different spots, but this one is called Fujimi. So I think it's about 1,200 meters up. What's that? 4,500 feet. So it's not too high, like you can still run pretty quickly here, but it's so much cooler than Tokyo. Oh, hey, sugoi. Ganbatte! So it's so much easier running here compared to Tokyo. I think in the mornings it's like 20 degrees maybe, but you've got some good cover as well, and it's not as humid at all. So I'm with these Suzuki athlete teams. You know the brand Suzuki, they make, I think, cars, bikes, music instruments, whole range of things, but they also sponsor a running team. So they've got a ton of these elite runners who are kind of semi-pro, I guess, but like 210 guys, we're talking, yeah, legit. And luckily I've managed to jump in with them somehow, because all these Just to Go Down teams, the pro teams, are so exclusive here that, yeah, it's pretty legendary that they've let me jump in and do some of the sessions and stuff. And the first session of camp was 1k reps on this hilly cross-country course, which is pretty rare in Japan. Back in Tokyo, we never do off-road sessions. It's always just pounding the pavements like Yogi Park, but this was very reminiscent of classic training from back in the UK. These undulating trail courses are quality strength builders. The paces just become irrelevant, and you're just comparing the times to the same ones on that specific course to see the progression over time. But for this one, we hit 10 by a K in around 3:15 with some decent recoveries, like 2.5 minutes of jogging. And all in all, the whole thing was bloody good fun.
3分10、11、12。
Right, just finished up the first cross-country session in about 6 years. I'm going to be so banged up tomorrow. It was on this sort of 1k interval loop, kind of riding this wave like up and down, but having the team there, absolute game changer. It was so good compared to the solo sessions I always have to do. You just get dragged along. I feel like the effort's about half as much, but I can run like twice as fast. Yeah, I'm gonna be making the most of this. That's one session done, and obviously first day at altitude, but the weather, dreamy. Might have to just move up to the mountains permanently. Oh, Nagano, you beauty. Now, one of the best parts of this elite team is that they have a full-time chef and nutritionist, and she also travels with them when they're on these altitude camps. So all 3 meals a day are sorted and they're packed with nutritious goodness. So I really can't get enough of this Japanese scran. I have to admit, it's a slight upgrade from the usual meals I'm whipping up in Tokyo. YouTube のため。僕の料理よりそれがすごい。Another great thing about escaping Tokyo has been hitting up all these new running spots and taking in that sweet countryside air. Right, so I'm out for just a little jog, exploring the area. Everyone in the afternoon usually has free training, so they just go off, do their own thing, put in a little jog, and then the main practice in the morning. But I think I'm not really meant to be filming with the team. I guess because it could be distracting or whatever. Like, it's understandable, we don't want to chuck a camera in people's face. Like, these Jitsugodan teams are normally so exclusive, so the fact that I'm even allowed to train with them is crazy. And if I can get any clips or footage with them, then that's just a bonus. But I'm here for the training, not for the YouTube. And as you can hear, I'm absolutely blowing, so I should probably stop filming. It's exhausting. Seems like I've just been climbing non-stop. I should have waited till the downhill, but we'll get through it. Power on ahead. And I'm just loving being in the countryside, all this open space. Oh, this beats Tokyo any day. Now, my friend Ikegami, who helped set this up, so he knows, he's good friends with the coach of the Suzuki team. And actually, I met the coach before, Fujiwara. He's an ex-Olympian, ran 2:07 in the marathon. Crazy, crazy good runner. So what better guy to have as my brand new personal cameraman? Not only has he been kind enough to let me join this training camp, but then he's pulling out all the stops for my YouTube channel as well. Even though he's long retired, he's still got some absolute wheels to be casually filming while cruising along next to me. So it's the day after that interval session, and we had another tough run today. And in Japan, they call this set training, which I hadn't heard of before until coming here. But apparently it's where you link back-to-back hard days together. And I know, like in Europe, outside of Japan, I've never heard of this. Usually you'd always hit like a session and then have a rest day after. You just jog, recovery, take it easy. But the idea, I think, with this is that you accumulate fatigue. So with that second session, you're obviously coming in tired legs, you've had a big day the day before, and then it's almost simulating, like in a marathon from 30K onwards, you're gonna be knackered, and it's hard in training to like replicate that without killing yourself. So this is a good little stimulus for that. So this sesh was 20 to 25K at a steady to tempo type pace. And in classic Japanese style, it was on the 1K loop. So not only is it brutal physical training, but also absolute mental warfare. To add to that, this run is done individually, so everyone starts with about 10-second gaps between them. And then what you're trying to do is close the distance on the runners in front while not getting caught by those behind. So another interesting little session this, and again, just so different to the usual training I've been doing. See, this is the class thing about this training camp. There's no way I'd have picked up these little details just from like reading online or books or whatever. You've got to get these insider secrets, and this is what I'm treating you people. This really is an exclusive experience. So everyone on the Suzuki team has been absolute legends, like so welcoming, just letting me jump in, even though my Japanese is pretty shocking. 自分の名前、カタカナであんまり書けない。They've still been very friendly, like trying to chat with me and everything, and it's the best way for me to actually learn Japanese, like compared to just studying textbooks. That's so boring, so I'd way rather just chat with a bunch of people and try and level up that way. But I was kind of surprised just how relaxed almost the atmosphere is here, because the Jitsugodan culture, this sort of elite running team culture in Japan, it's definitely got a strict image, like very, very serious, kind of no mucking around, playing around. But the Suzuki team couldn't be more opposite. It's probably because of Fujiwara, so the coach. He's just very chill, like funny guy, down to earth. And so the whole team culture is way more relaxed than I'd expected. I mean, the fact they've let this random foreigner with a camera just show up and live with them, train with them, that is pretty mad. All right, so we're exploring the proper countryside here. Feels like we're in Europe right now. Compared to Tokyo, whew, it's crazy. And got a special guest now. 新しい友達と日本語先生紹介しましょう。チャレンジ 英語で自己紹介できる？
ああ、少し。
少しだけ頑張れ。
My name is 大桐山。
どのチーム？
鈴木アスリートクラブ。
そう。
あと、I like 寿司
大好き。完璧。英語ペラペラだね。今合宿でランニング練習プラス日本語練習。完璧なコンボ。So what about the Suzuki Athlete Club that I'm living and training with? How does it work with them being employed to the company as elite runners?
ノットプロランナーです。
いやセミプロみたい。
そうね、セミプロ。
シミガナ
ではない。
でもプロランナーではない。スケジュールは何ですか？
スケジュールは朝練習、朝トレーニングして、でその後に会社で仕事をして、お昼ぐらいから仕事終わってまたトレーニング。
ナイス。
だからトレーニングワークトレーニング。
But for about a third of the year, they're away on these training camps where they can sack off the work part and just live like full-time pro runners, chilling all day in between their 2 runs. It's a pretty perfect setup. 今合宿でめっちゃ楽しんでる。最高だね。はい、ありがとうございます。はい、これから頑張りましょう。So the trouble I've had with Japanese ever since graduating Waseda is, I did that 1-year language course, but then since finishing that, I've basically had no opportunities to chat to Japanese people. So if anything, my abilities have just gone down gradually. Like I don't have the time to study textbooks or anything, and I'm no longer really running with a team like back in Tokyo. It's actually pretty rare that I get to speak Japanese. And some people might not realize, but just how difficult Japanese is, it's an absolute joke. So like at school, I'm sure most people have studied French or Spanish, like one of those Latin-based languages. So they've done research, and apparently to become like conversationally fluent in one of those ones, it takes about 500 hours. Now, I don't know about you, but after studying it all through school, I'm still absolutely useless, like can barely say a word. Japanese, on the other hand, 2,500 hours. So it takes 5 times as long to get to a half decent level than it does for any of the like French and Spanish, whatever. And at the moment, I'm about the level of an elementary school kid, which is illustrated pretty nicely through this next clip that was taken just before I came out here back in Tokyo. Hello. 英語喋れる？英語喋れる？ちょっとだけ。あんまり喋れません。俺外国語3回しか出てない。僕の日本語同じぐらい。少しだけ。でも英語ね通ってるから。英語は通ってるけど多すぎては忘れた。英語難しいね。日本語も厳しい。So this video is just the start. I've given you a snapshot into this training camp, but it's going to be going on for the whole month. So there'll be a ton of videos coming out of me living, training with different teams, pro runners, elites. It's going to be quality. Going to learn the secrets, delve deeper into the way of the marathon monk. So I want everyone to comment below, let me know what you want to see, if you've got any questions in particular for these Japanese guys, or any topics you want me to chat about, discuss in videos. There's so many different angles we can go here, but this is a once in a lifetime, so we've got to make the most of it. So you can follow along to the journey on this channel, but this has been Jake with Run to Japan. I'll catch you in the next one. Remember, train harder, not smarter.